Mind your P's and Q's, boys and girls, because your past just may come back to haunt you. Today, we are diving into Ryan Reynolds' own SH past. We have Brandon Sklenar that seems to now be coming out as a supporter of Justin Baldoni. Blake No Teeth Lively's lost yet another tooth as the Daily Mail runs a scathing exclusive with a former staffer from Gossip Girl. And I watched Meghan Markle's new Netflix show so that you don't have to. Lots to get into. Let's get it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Let's get it. What's today? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday. I don't know what day it is anymore. I just do the things when I do them. I was on Billy Bush's Hot Mics podcast yesterday, so definitely go check that out if you haven't done so yet. We're gonna have a new pop report that I'm taping today that's gonna air on the show tomorrow. Fishnet t-shirt, something feels frisky. Mackenzie, are you sexually harassing me in the live chat right now? What? Hi, guys. Just a reminder, if you're new here, please hit that like button if you're enjoying the content and hit that subscribe button. We're just under, what are we at? Like 73,000, 72,000, 73. We're just shy of 73,000. Do you think we can hit 75 by next week? Remember, if we can hit 100K, I'm going to head to New York. I'm going to bring Marco, my camera guy, with me, and we will cover this trial live. We're going to be like everyone that was covering the Menendez brothers. Who was I talking to? I was doing somebody's show, and we were talking about how, or maybe it was the Friday's town hall, about how, the Menendez brothers case and the OJ trial, all of those things when all the reporters were outside, we content creators are the new media. So, yeah, we're getting, listen, if we can get to 100K, I'll go to New York and I'll be right out there. Me and Marco, and I'll be live from New York City. And then as Blake comes in, I'll be like, Blake, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? And she'll say, eternal shame. But yeah, let's see if we can hit 75 by next week. It's Tuesday, so we have a little time. Tuesday, we're just shy of 73. I think we can hit 75 by next week. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, guys. You can also listen and watch on Spotify, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you get your podcast. No Filter with Zack Peter. Okay. This wasn't in the description or anything because I literally just saw it as I was coming on. Shout out to Popcorn Talk. Popcorn Talk posted this article from the Daily Mail that is about Blake Lively, and there was a former staffer, so I'm going to read it with you live. Let's get it. Okay. Exclusive. I was a runner on Gossip Girl, and Blake Lively gave me the silent treatment just for saying hello. Very similar to what was that? What was that? What do you call it? The girl on TikTok who was I think she worked for Fuse TV, and she was an intern, and she said that Blake thought that she was talking to her, that the girl tried to talk to her, and Blake was like, "Oh, why is this fan on set?" And she had the girl removed, and the girl went home on the train crying, and she's like, "And I remember that." And she's like, "I didn't even say anything to her. We have bigger stars that come on to Fuse TV. Blake Lively is certainly not one of them. I think I maybe was familiar with her, but not really." I think she was in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants at the time. Okay, so the article reads, Blake Lively has been accused of being a mean girl on set, bullying people as if she was still in high school, a former runner on Gossip Girl has revealed. Ewood, 38, encountered the under fire actress when the beloved television show was filming a few episodes in Paris in the summer of 2010. It was a budding producer's first time working on set, where his main role was delivering water bottles to Blake's trailer, as well as her co-star Leighton Meester. Despite being greeted warmly by Leighton, the assistant producer, then 23, claims he was given the silent treatment by Blake after simply saying hi. Unfortunately, my experience with Blake was not good. She came across as a bully, he told Mail Online. When fans wanted to take pictures with them, Leighton was always available, but Blake didn't have time. While with the crew, it was more the way she was speaking to them like she was a toddler. It was if she was not having what she wanted, she would start making a scene, just being disrespectful and rude. Irwood's alleged uncomfortable experience with Blake took place when Gossip Girl took to Paris to film the opening episodes of season 4. He had been working as a young volunteer runner over 2 days when cast and crew were traveling across the French capital to film scenes. I had always been very interested in working in films and TV shows, so I studied hard. It was a dream of mine, and it was a dream of mine to be on this set, the producer turned singer explained. It was only when I arrived on set that I realized it was for Gossip Girl. There were loads of fans outside, as most of the shooting was at specific tourist spots in Paris. This took place in July 2010 when Gossip Girl was a household name. The show was so powerful, even celebrities and actors were watching it. It was huge. I was working across the various white trailers, provide racist white trailers, JK, providing water, moving equipment around, and things like that, which is when I first saw Leighton Meester. She was the first person I saw, and I said hi to her, to which she replied, and that was it. Then I saw Blake, and I said hi to her as well. She didn't respond or give any acknowledgement. It was as if I did not exist. Irwood spent the next few days working around the trailers, worrying that he was not meant to have said hello. After that, he claimed his job became difficult with Blake and acting disrespectfully towards him, making jokes and making fun of him in what he said was a really passive aggressive way. Well, we do know she does think that she's really funny, giving interviews for facts, not for clout chasing, please. Yeah, I always am skeptical. I know we're not happy with Blake right now, but I'm always skeptical when people give an exclusive interview to talk about like this terrible experience that they had with somebody on set. That's not to say that Blake Lively probably wasn't, nice on set, 'cause I've had a number of people that have told me she is terrible to work with and she's a nightmare and she's very mean to people. Not to mention I have somebody that did work for her that claims that there are harassment claims against her that her publicist had buried, allegedly. He continues by saying, I was never told not to speak to the actors, but I didn't even think I was having a conversation with her. I was just saying hi, trying to be nice. And the way Leighton was acting was so nice to everyone, even the fans around and other people from the crew. She was so lovely to be around, but Blake was just a nightmare. I witnessed the way she was talking to other people on set, crew, and other actors, and it just wasn't a good vibe. When filming wrapped, Leighton asked him what his plans were, and when Ewood told her he wanted to be a singer, she told him that was great and wished him good luck. He did not speak to Blake. What is funny that on the show, her character was never really portrayed as a mean person. That was Leighton's character. In real life, Leighton was amazing and still is, but Blake was the mean one in real life, he said. Since Blake's row with Justin broke out, Ewood, who is currently working on a documentary about prevention of taking one's life, trying to say that YouTube friendly, decided to speak about his treatment. He claims others who have worked with Blake for longer periods of time have also had bad experiences with her and are too scared to speak out. I'm not trying to bash Blake. I'm just talking about my experience and the fact that I saw her acting like a bully. This has nothing to do with Justin Baldoni. This happened in 2010, way before Justin Baldoni. There's a reason why so many people are coming from different places all over the world still have the same experience with her. What does that say? All of us had the same kind of experience with her. Listen, I mean, these rumors about her have been around forever. She's not pleasant to work with, and I don't think she ever has been pleasant to work with. So, well, it's just not shocked. But thank you, Popcorn Planet, for sharing that so I can read it off of Instagram. But I do want to get into the Ryan Reynolds of it all. I want to get into the Brandon Sklenar, something that we caught yesterday, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys caught this, but my video. So remember how we went live and I played a clip of that interview from the Hollywood Reporter on the Vanity Fair red carpet at the Oscars party with Brandon Sklenar, where they ask him about supporting women and how are you supporting Blake right now? And the interesting thing is, the second that we finished that live, I was immediately flagged with a copyright infringement. I was slapped with the copyright infringement and my video was demonetized. And I was like, what? Normally, like, YouTube sends you a warning. Like, this was an immediate demonetized. Any ads, any ad revenue that's running on this video, that ad revenue will go to the original copyright owner. And so it came from this LLC. MRC LLC is what I think it was called. Let me pull it up. It was flagged by MRC Media LLC, and they pointed to a video that they claimed that the copyright owner. Yeah, here, I'll read you the exact email. The visibility of your video is not impacted, but you can no longer monetize it. The copyright owner is now either monetizing it or receiving analytics about it. This is not a copyright strike, and it does not affect your channel. Okay, so it was just my video was just demonetized. So it wasn't an official strike, but it was just strange how it very quickly and immediately, like, they were saying that any ad revenue was gonna go to them, and I was like, no." So luckily, YouTube is, very good to creators, and so they gave me the opportunity to edit that piece out of the episode. So if you watch it now, and even in the rebroadcast on Apple or on Spotify, the clip has been removed, and it was removed because the video that was sourced was the one that The Hollywood Reporter published, which not surprisingly has a lot less views than mine does. But I was like, is this them? Are they the ones that are flagging this? Are they, is there a scanner that's now out on our videos to make sure that, we are not playing? I don't know. It's weird. Right. But it's funny because just yesterday on the show, I was like, let's not get into the conspiracy theories, about them coming after us. And then Kirsty Flaw, apparently, she's been having issues and her Wikipedia page has been getting, a lot of creators are now like having their content taken down or getting flagged. And so I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's trolls that are doing this. I don't know if it's an orchestration from Blake Lively's camp. I'm not claiming that I know that as fact. I'm just saying it's very weird and coincidental that this all just started happening within the last week or so. Just kind of a weird coinky dink that I'm like, this feels fishy. And everyone's like, it's the CIA guy. It's the CIA guy. I don't know if it's the CIA guy or not. It's strange and it's weird, but we're all talking. We're all talking. We're all on group threads and we're communicating with each other and we're supporting each other and we're rallying behind each other. We are the sisterhood of the traveling. What are we? The traveling truth. We're the sisterhood of the traveling truth. All of us. We're sticking together. We're, arm in arm. We got each other's backs. Dave Neal had a gavel. Content creators need gavels. Yes, I agree. I stand with Dave Neal. Hashtag Blake Lives Matter. No, that's what we're fighting. We're fighting again. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Teeth. I love that. That's even better. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Teeth. That's right. We got teeth and we bite. We bite back, Mr. CIA dude. What's next? You're going to leak my nudes online? Come on. Power to the podcasters. Yes, content creators unite. Well, we're not all podcasters, but we are all content. Some of us have content on TikTok, YouTube, podcast. I happen to be everywhere. But yeah, we are the Sisterhood of the Traveling Teeth. Let's get it. Okay, let's dive into the Ryan Reynolds of it all because, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. But before we do, I did want to give some love and a shout out to my pals at Nutrafol. This year, there's nothing holding you back from loving your hair again. I know I love my hair. Look at my hair. Look at the shine. Look at the bounce. Look at that. Oof. Yes, this is high body count hair right here. Hair is so much more than what you see on the surface. It's a reflection of what's going on inside. Let Nutrafol target the key root of your thinning hair and help you grow stronger, healthier strands from within, right? Their approach is science-backed. It's a whole body approach that nourishes growth from within to achieve your best hair yet. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors such as plant-based lifestyles. So you get exactly what you need. Physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting the key root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, metabolism. They do this through a whole body health approach. While many supplements simply rely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. I know that's right. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code NOFILTER. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code NOFILTER. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code NOFILTER. Okay. Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. Okay. Crying, Ryan, crying, Ryan. Da-na-na-na-na-na. So there were these old clips that are now resurfacing of old interviews that Ryan Reynolds has been doing. Okay. There's one in particular that's been resurfacing, and it was originally shared on the Blake Lively Snark Reddit, and the user, want to make sure we credit people, Acting Epiphany is the user in the Blake Lively Snark Reddit thread. So again, I'm still learning how to use Reddit, but so this video is posted by Acting Epiphany, and it's an old interview from the Jay Leno show back in 2011 that basically admits Ryan Reynolds admits that he grabbed Olivia Munn. He grabbed her, where you're breastfeeding, right? Not supposed to happen. They did a film together called The Change Up. It was released in 2011. He was doing promotion for it. He thought that this would be a really funny story to tell Jay Leno. So let's all take one big LOL together. LOLs.
So in the scene, she's sitting there, and I take her top off, I take her bra off, and she has the those pasties on.
Right.
But she's drawing these adorable little smiley faces on me. And I forget every line in the scene. Not just from this movie, from every other movie I've done. And I don't really know I'm sort of going up, I'm nervous, I'm blithering on about nothing, and at some point in the scene, she takes my hands and puts them on her breasts. Mm-hmm. So they're there, palms are a little sweaty, don't know what's happening. And then at the end of the scene, I'm supposed to take them, and I'm trying not to look at her like a 14-year-old boy who just won the lady lottery.
Right.
And
won the lady lottery.
Yeah,
is that what it's called? The lady lottery.
And I'm trying not to do it, and at some point in the scene, I have to take my hands away, and I take my hands away, and I look down at my hands, and there's two freaking smiley faces on them. And I have no idea what to do. So, the scene is over now. There's 65 crew members around. I mean, there's all these guys. There's like the one, the jackpot. I'm sitting there, and I reflexively, like an idiot, just put my hands right back on her breasts. And I think I'm doing it to cover them up, but I'm like realizing right now it's a very fine line between chivalry and, workplace sexual assault.
Right.
What a very funny joke, Ryan Reynolds. I say that with sarcasm. Interesting that he's just like he's joking about this, that he touched her not once, but twice. Okay, admitting this, laughing about it, joking about it. It's just, now, arguably, you could say, well, this was a different time. It was a different culture, but also, when was this ever appropriate, right? It's just crazy that now you want to be this crusader that wants to take down somebody like Justin Baldoni that, I'm sorry, doesn't go on interviews and joke about intimate things like this. And this is not let's be very clear. What Blake Lively is alleging that Justin Baldoni has done, and what Ryan Reynolds is admitting to doing himself, very different, right? He even uses the term SA, not SH, right? Very big difference. Remember, we broke that down when that wackadoodle Me Too doctor was out on Instagram and TikTok putting out that information about how SA and SH are basically the same thing. And I can say that because I'm a doctor. I think she has since blocked me, so I don't know if she's actively a fan and a subscriber of No Filter with Zack Peter, but here we go, baby. Here we go. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's strange, and I know it was a different time, right? And maybe he fumbled this, maybe he didn't mean to let this slip or whatever. But the interesting thing is he joked about this not just once, but he thought the joke was so funny It was such a good joke, right? It got such a good laugh from the audience that he decided he was going to tell it again. And he did on this show. He was doing promotion. So this was in 2012. He co-starred in Safe House with Denzel Washington, and he went around and was doing promotion then. And he thought that this hilarious story was funny enough to tell again the following year when he was doing promotion for Safe House. Because last year he was doing promotion for The Change Up. Now he's doing Safe House. And so here's where he refers to it as borderline illegal. And this was on the, oh my God, I'm going to botch the name of this, but it was on the El Hormiguero show. El Hormiguero. I don't know how you pronounce it. Sorry. I know I'm Mexican and I fumbled that ball. Apologies, but I don't speak Spanish. But so it was a show. It was in Spanish. So when they play the clips, you can they have like an overlay, like a translator that speaks over them. So you're not really hearing Ryan Reynolds, you're hearing the overlay of the Spanish, the translator, because I guess this aired in Spanish. And so, yeah, he did this show in 2012 and he was joking about it and laughing about how, he said there's a fine line between acting and just straight up SH. So here he refers to it as SH, but he basically makes the exact same joke again because he thought it was so hilarious. Yeah. Hormiguero. Yeah. The El Hormiguero. El Hormiguero. Hormiguero. Is that what it's called? Hormiguero? Hormigaro. Sorry, everyone's like trying to spell it out. They're like, sound it out, Zach. This is phonics class. Sound it out. I don't know if this is the correct way to say it, though. Hormigaro. Is that right? That doesn't even sound right. I don't think Hormigaro. Not Zack being a Selena Gomez. Yes, I'm going to go crying for all my people that are being deported. I'm going to cry on Instagram from my mansion like Selena Gomez did. And then a couple weeks later, I'm going to go on a red carpet at the Oscars with all my jewels and my very expensive outfit. Just be like, hi. Oh, hi. Excuse me, homeless people. Can you move? I'm trying to walk into my red carpet event. Right? Because it was on Hollywood Boulevard. I think, was it Hollywood Boulevard? What was the theater? Regardless, that area is just like it's not the cleanest area. There is a lot of homeless in that area on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So it's just funny that all these stars had to literally just like scoot all the homeless people out while they went and paraded in their jewels for the Oscars. Ooh, you go, Selena Gomez. But so yeah, this is it. So that was Armighetto? I don't know. But so he did the show where he says that it was basically illegal what he did. LOL, so funny. Or Ormighetto. Someone said Ormighetto. I don't know. Okay, try saying it. Hot me ghetto. Okay, we're just not going to do that anymore. All right, moving on. So many Marianne said so many videos have come out with Ryan with very questionable behavior. Well, on that note, shout out to Elsie, who I was just on Donna Bowling's podcast with, and she had another clip that I'm about to play for you. So let's play that one.
I'd probably like to go back to this morning. In the hotel lobby, a nursing mother caught me staring. And I didn't know what the appropriate facial expression was for that. So I just kept on staring. And staring, and then I just kind of got locked into that like a time warp. And
credit to Elrich on Instagram. So this was an Instagram live that she is showing us a clip of, where basically he says he was asked, what moment would you go back to? Is there a moment in time that you would go back to? And he's like, oh, I would go back to this moment where I saw this woman breastfeeding and I couldn't help but look. It's just so funny that literally these things that he's owning up to with his own sort of behavior. This is where he's now coming in to be the crusader against Justin Baldoni when he's literally been accused of doing these exact same things, or not being accused, literally publicly admitting to doing these things. So he's staring at this woman that's breastfeeding, and he wanted to go back to that because I guess there was something that he got off on it from. It's just so what, but again, we wouldn't be in this place examining these clips had we not spearheaded this campaign to take down Justin Baldoni, right? But it's like, I don't know, like, because the things that Justin Baldoni is being accused of, what, he smelled your spray tan and said it doesn't smell that bad when you said that it probably smells bad, and you were like, no, it's fine, it doesn't smell bad. Like that's what he did. He allegedly adjusted Jenny Slate's posture, and she was upset because he basically grabbed her butt. Or I guess we don't have proof that that complaint was officially Jenny Slate's. Like, so we can remove unnamed actress on set is what we'll say. It's just interesting to me. Very interesting. So he was adjusting people's posture and like, oh, grab my butt. And, they come into a meeting where Blake Lively's breastfeeding and she's picking and choosing when she's comfortable breastfeeding and not, because there have now been reports that she was freely breastfeeding on the set all the time. That shouldn't be sexualized. But I guess now I understand why she feels like it would be, because her husband was doing this to women. Very interesting. Very interesting. So there are just 3 examples that I pulled up. We have the Instagram Live that he did, where he refers to the women breastfeeding. And then we have the 2 times that he made fun of grabbing Olivia Wilde's boobs from the set of The Change Up. Wow, wow, wow. If that was a legit butt grab, it would be all over the court docs in all caps by now. Yeah, but the thing is, the Sisterhood of the Traveling HR complaints still have not come forward. Nobody's coming out to defend Blake No Teeth Lively. She's losing teeth and allies left and right here. Yes, he used his creative embellishment in the complaint. He's such a talented writer. Say what? Who embellishes about a woman breastfeeding? I don't know. Ness says, I have such bias towards Meghan Markle. I should be more skeptical of her, but I can't. We'll get into her in a second. We'll definitely get into her in a second because I watched her Netflix series and it was interesting. Interesting. Okay, shall we? But that's the Ryan Reynolds piece. Curious what you guys think about those clips. Maybe I'll do an Instagram reel where I recap the 3 of them. Just wild, right? Just so cuckoo, crazy, wild, bonkers. Double standards, right? Double standards. Let's move on to Brandon Sklenar. Brandon Sklenar. Because Brandon Sklenar is coming on out, and he's got some things that he may be alluding to. I don't know. You tell me. But before we dive into Brandon Sklenar and his support of Justin Baldoni, just wanted to let you guys know, spring is the season of love and new beginnings, and it's easier than you think to find love on an app, or at least a lunch you love on the DoorDash app. Whatever you're looking for, DoorDash and Panera Bread are teaming up to help you find the perfect match, okay? This is the season for the perfect match. Panera's You Pick 2 offering lets you pair 2 items, like a cup of soup, half a salad, half a sandwich. You can pair them together from Panera's menu with over 800 possible combinations. It's easy to find your one true lunch. You Pick 2 delivered right to you with DoorDash. I think I've been looking for love in all the wrong places, but now I feel like I found it. I found love in not a so hopeless place. What I want, when I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. The heart wants what it wants, right? I can go on with these songs all day, but mine is calling out for some delicious Panera. I love Panera. And I don't remember the last time I've been to Panera, but I love the convenience of being able to be like, "Ooh, let me get this little pairing, have me some lunch, and I can do it all with DoorDash." Thank you, DoorDash. Steamy soup, refreshing salad, savory sandwiches. You can find your perfect pairing now. Use code TRUELUNCH. That's TRUE True Lunch, LUNCH True Lunch, code TRUELUNCH for 20% off your Panera You Pick 2 order on DoorDash. From March 3rd through March 12th, you can place your order and cash in your savings. That's code TRUELUNCH for 20% off until Wednesday, March 12th. Terms apply. For full terms, go to the Panera store page on DoorDash and read them there. Cash in those savings, 20% off. Use code TRUELUNCH right now with DoorDash. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. All right, let's talk about Brandon Sklenar. Shout out to Citizen Journalist who posted this on X and also DM'd me, giving me the deets. But so basically, people are picking apart Brandon Sklenar's outfit from the Vanity Fair Oscars party, which we saw yesterday when I tried to play the clip from the Hollywood Reporter. And then again, I was flagged and demonetized, but luckily I was able to get that resolved with YouTube. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for being a supporter of creators and for having our backs and protecting us from the trolls. But so anyway, people are making some comparisons to Brandon Sklenar and Justin Baldoni. Now, if you look at these two images that I put on the screen, because if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can watch it on the screen. If you look at these two images, what do you notice in their outfits? Oh, yeah, they happen to be wearing the same brooch. And so I'm told that this brooch is made by Annabella Chan. She makes this brooch. She's not tagged in Brandon Sklenar's Instagram post where he shares this photo or this outfit. And let's pull up his. Let's pull up Brandon Sklenar's. Brandon Sklenar. Do. It's so interesting that it's so much harder to find these accounts. To Colleen Hoover, Brandon Sklenar. Did he? Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Hold on. We'll pull up his exact Instagram and we'll examine it. Uh-oh. Sklenar. There he is. Okay. But look, you can see the brooch is basically the same. Why would he be wearing Justin Baldoni's same brooch unless he really was trying to have some sort of nod to Justin Baldoni? So this is his Instagram account. Shout out to Brandon Sklenar. Oh, Chef Stu follows. Oh, who else follows him? Chef Stu. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So here's his photo, and he's like, "Ooh, so cute." Ooh, the chest looks good. He is cute. I know everyone likes to call him Timu Thor, but like, he's a cutie, right? Like, listen, if he slid into your DMs and was like, "Hey, girl, I need you to put some sunscreen on me," you're gonna be like, "No, don't. Sexual harassment. No." Oh, look at even Elsie went and posted in solidarity of the bro, and everyone's commenting on it. I think everyone should give Brandon a little grace. Imagine hearing from your primo co-star. I get it, but like also I don't know. He needs to be nominated for People's. Okay, but anyway, so the caption says, "Vanity Fair, long live the brooch." His post literally says, "Long live the brooch." And then the outfit, he credits Madeline Kennedy. And then I guess glam, he credits Sean Ness. And then he also gives a thank you to Thorne Sweeney and David Yearman for, I'm assuming, the jewelry. And then Thorne Sweeney, is this his stylist? But so we have glam. We have, I don't know. This is kind of weird because he credits everybody else in this, right? But then the interesting part is he says, "Long live the brooch." And as I told you guys, this brooch is the exact same brooch that we see Justin Baldoni wearing from the premiere of It Ends With Us. Why would we shout out the brooch when we don't even tag Annabella Chan, who the brooch belongs to? Like, it's her brooch. Like, you would think that everything you do right now is being scrutinized under a microphone. Brooch and brooch are homophones, meaning they sound the same but have different meanings. Brooch is a verb, while brooch is a noun. Right. So what is... Okay, let's play with this theory. Raise for discussion. He broached. Yeah. So he spelled it wrong, but it's still, I think he meant to spell the brooch brooch, because that's what he's wearing when he says "long live the brooch." Like, was this... There's no way this was an accident, right? Similar to like when I said when Anna Anna, Anna Kendrick, when she presented the best director and she gave like a big shout out to directors, knowing that this was going to be enthralled in the drama. Leighton Meester doing the Gossip Girl nod with Kristen Bell. Like, they know that these things are going to be attached to Blake Lively. They know how the internet works. They know how the internet sleuths work. Wow, it's the same. It's literally the exact same brooch. I see Baldoni still follows Sklenar on Instagram. Yeah, but I don't believe Sklenar follows Baldoni, which again, let's see. He's okay. So Sklenar still follows Colleen Hoover. He doesn't follow many people. Ryan Reynolds still follows Ryan Reynolds. Still follows Blake Lively. Colleen Hoover does not follow Justin Baldoni because remember he unfollowed everybody. So feels a little too. Justin follows everyone. Yeah, because why would Justin? Well, I mean, I guess I would understand Justin unfollowing like Blake Lively. I also don't think that they're brooch bros. I don't think that Justin's on Instagram very much. So, and I don't think he's at this point going to intentionally unfollow anybody. But like, come on. This just is way too much of a coinky dink. No? They're wearing the same brooch. We're broaching this with theories, right? Like, they already know how the internet works. They know that we're going to scrutinize everything. So why would you continue to do things, especially when you reference the brooch? And this was, how many hours ago is this posted? So it's 10:27 a.m. This was posted 20 hours ago. So less than 24 hours ago. So this was posted yesterday. After yesterday's live stream, when I video clip. So the Hollywood Reporter video clip was already circulating. It was already going around. I wonder if that was even like a planned thing, right? With the Hollywood Reporter. Because like if they flagged me for copyright infringement for playing their fucking clip when other people I'm seeing are playing that very freely on TikTok and Instagram. I got flagged though. I got dinged for that one though. Huh. Interesting. But like if they have a copyright thing already out there, I don't know. I have questions. I just seems a little coincidental to me. But I may have just fallen out of a coconut tree. I don't know. Did Brandon even know Baldoni wore the brooch since he was separated in the basement? I mean, the photos are everywhere, right? This is the one photo of Justin Baldoni from this red carpet that everybody is circulating. We know the brooch. Like, this brooch is not, I mean, unless you mean to tell me that he just maybe never saw Justin Baldoni wear this brooch. It was just one big coinky dink. Oh. MRC Media LLC is owned by Ari Emanuel. Is it really? Can we verify that? How do we know that that's true? Rose. Gotta be DV awareness. Well, I don't know. What is so special about this brooch? Let me see if Citizen Journalist on X. Yes, Elsie also posted about it. Elsrich. It's just so interesting. I don't know. Maybe we're digging too much into it. Pink petunias can symbolize challenges ahead. It's not a similar brooch. It's literally the exact same one. Maybe believe all women. I don't know. We are all investigators. I mean, at this point, right? Oh, what is this update that just came in? Leanne Newton. She's an amateur internet sleuth, according to the New York Times Entertainment. So she's a legal commentator. I've seen some of her posts in the past, but she just tweeted this recently. I'm going to read it to you. This is off topic of Brandon Sklenar. I'll let you go crazy about the brooch in the comments, but let's read what she wrote about the update from the New York Times Motion. And then we'll dive into Meghan Markle. Oh, I can't wait to dive into Meghan Markle. Is going to be fun. I can't wait for that. Actually, before I read this, let me do a shout out to my pals at Factor. Dun, 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 dun. Factor. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Well, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to in 2 minutes so that you can feel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Wise. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor's keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on exercise and diet. With over 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Maybe I'll try Keto, right? Just kind of tighten up the waistline a little bit. I do the Protein Plus because I'm trying to rack in that protein, trying to build up those muscles, trying to look hot for summer. Let's do it. Let's get hot this summer. So I've been doing the Protein Plus, and it's quite delicious. Lots of good meat, lots of good protein. But maybe I'll try the keto. I don't know. If I can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks, that gives me just enough time. If I clock in now, interesting. Things that I'm pondering. Okay. But Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab and go snacks, and more add-ons. Reach your goals this year with ingredients that you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Factor podcast and use code Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Factor Podcast. FACTORPODCAST. Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. All of the codes and links are in the description below. Be sure to cash in, clock in those savings with Factor, with Nutrafol, and with DoorDash. Okay, let's see what this update was. Justin Baldoni's team appears to have responded to the New York Times, which, by the way, if you're a member on YouTube, we went through the entire New York Times document, which was actually kind of fun. So this was crazy. We went through the full, like, page by page of what the New York Times is claiming to get their lawsuit from Justin Baldoni dismissed, right? Because Justin Baldoni is suing them for, I believe it's what, 250 mil. And so they're just like, no, we shouldn't do that because basically we trusted Blake Lively and we're protected. We have the privilege of the press that, we told the story. We don't have to necessarily tell the story. We don't have to tell both sides of the story is what they were arguing. We don't have to tell both sides of the story. And we don't have to necessarily tell you the truth. We just have to tell you the story that was given to us. So when there's a legal document that we're given and we just report the details of that legal document, such as Blake Lively's CRD complaint, then that's as far as we need to go. We don't really need to do, a service to the other party. So they were saying that they were generous by even reaching out to Justin Baldoni and asking him to comment. And they said, we reached out to him. We did him a favor. We did him a solid by reaching out and asking him to comment on this story. And not only that, but like that moment when we reached out to him, he could have given us evidence to prove otherwise. That if he had evidence that proved Blake Lively wrong, we could have absolutely, used that. And I was like, you mean when you contacted him in the middle of a night, the weekend before the big holiday, Thursday night at what, 10 p.m. Eastern? They reached out to him and they're just like, hey, we're going to run this story tomorrow. So you have overnight to get us a response before we publish it in the morning. But that's them saying that, well, that was his window. We gave him a window. If he had other evidence that he wanted us to include, he could have given it to us and he didn't. But he gave us a statement and we published his statement at the bottom of our article. So, that's us really doing him a solid. It was crazy. The more we were reading that document, I was just like, they're basically saying they have the press privilege, but not only that, but they also have the privilege of opinion. Because, they can, since they referred to it as a smear campaign, and Justin Baldoni is saying that that's defamation because there was no smear campaign, and Blake technically didn't accuse him of he shouldn't use the words smear campaign. The New York Times used the words smear campaign. And they were just like, well, that's our opinion. And so we have that protection, because we are entitled to have an opinion. And I was just like, am I like really reading this? Like they're saying they don't have to tell both sides of the story. They're saying if they include their sources, then it's up to their readers to come to their own conclusion and do further research should they want to do further research. It was literally insane. I was just like, this is why people don't fucking trust the mainstream media anymore. This is why the people don't trust the press because they lie to us. Same thing like with the Hollywood Reporter and the article with Jenny Slate that they changed 4 times. It's crazy. And they're also just like, and there was no like actual contract or agreement. So we didn't, we weren't in breach of any implied in fact contract because, we didn't have to like give Justin Baldoni the timeline. We didn't have to give him until noon the next day to give us a response. That wasn't like something that was agreed upon. I was like, wait, it's breach of implied in fact contract, not breach of contract, breach of implied in fact contract. Like it was crazy. If you're a member and you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it. It's just bananas. Okay, but let's see. So this is Baldoni's team's response. This comes from Leanne Newton on X. Baby. Leanne says, Wayfair have filed a response to the New York Times motion to stay discovery. I'm not going to go over this in great detail as it's pretty standard. I did pick out a couple of interesting and funny points as well as opportunities to throw shade at Lively. Wayfair is asking the judge to deny New York Times request to delay discovery on 3 points, right? The first point was hilarious to me. I thought at the time it was odd that this has been filed because I didn't remember seeing any discovery requests being served on the New York Times, but I couldn't be sure, so I don't have full access to the US court filings. I do now. It turns out I was right. And Wayfair essentially made the same point. They took a shot at Lively by pointing out that if the New York Times should be concerned about anyone issuing overly intrusive discovery requests, then Lively already has form and has had to be reined in by the judge already. Let me read that again. They also took a shot at Lively by pointing out that if the New York Times should be concerned about anyone issuing overly intrusive discovery requests, then Lively already has form and has had to be reined in by the judge. Very true about an overreach of discovery, because I guess they're fighting back from Baldoni's team getting discovery to see what possible collusion may have happened between Blake Lively's team and the New York Times. The second point basically covers the New York Times motion to dismiss, and Wayfair argues that a pending motion to dismiss should not affect discovery, especially as regardless of the outcome. The New York Times will still be a significant witness. That was another point I made earlier in the comments of my post about the New York Times motion to dismiss. Good point. Baldoni's team is basically saying, we want to move forward with discovery, even though you're waiting and even though you want to get this case dismissed and we don't have an official, judgment yet. So this is interesting because Andy Cohen, he's being sued by Leah McSweeney. And I believe they're probably trying to settle with her or something. But so he was fighting that too. He was saying, we don't want her to gain discovery because we're waiting for the judge to make a decision on whether or not this case should be tossed out. It's basically a delaying tactic, is really what it is. That's the most, that's what it's a delay tactic. Okay. And then the third point deals with jurisdiction, which needs to be decided by the judge, but Wayfair points out that the New York Times hasn't proven the claims against Wayfair to be unmeritorious. Because, so from what I remember reading the documents, the New York Times is arguing that some of the things that Baldoni is suing for are related to California law, not New York law, and now the lawsuit has moved from California to New York now that the New York Times has been attached to Blake Lively's piece. The arguments are pretty persuasive, but we'll have to see what the judge says. Yeah. I think the shade about the intrusive discovery requests is kind of laughable. I love that they did take that little jab at Blake Lively. And the reason I give Baldoni's side a bit more grace when it comes to the shady jabs in the court documents is because they've been consistent with that. Whereas Blake Lively and those parties are basically like trying to pretend like they're the good guys and they're so innocent and they're so this, blah, 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 but yet they're also taking the shady jabs too. So I'm like, why are you complaining about Baldoni's team being shady when you guys are literally doing the exact same shit? And you're getting mad when Baldoni's team does it and you clowns are doing the same bullshit. Not today, Satan, not today. Okay, so nothing too crazy, but I highly recommend following Leanne Newton on X. She's a great resource, has a lot of legal insight that she dishes on. Okay, so we talked about the brooch. We talked about Baldoni's team's response. I believe this Thursday, the judge, there's a new hearing and the judge is opening it up to the public. Well, I feel like now I'm scared to tell you guys because Now I'm scared to tell you because then I don't want everybody to flood. They're going to release a phone number that people can call into. Maybe we'll do a live and we'll broadcast live while we listen to it. Oh, that would be fun, right? We'll go live. I'll call into the number and we'll all listen to it live on the show. I think that would actually be a good time, and we can all listen to it together. Okay, I think I might do that. It's audio only. Yes, it is audio only, but we can go live on YouTube. Somebody asked, when am I going on Ask Two Lawyers? This Friday, I'm having Ask Two Lawyers on the podcast. So mark your calendar this Friday, new town hall with Stewart and Davidson. So there you go. Stewart and Davidson coming on back. Did I say that right? Is it Stewart and oh, sorry. Stewart and Keith. So, well, technically, yes, Stewart and Davidson, but it's Keith Davidson and Stewart Albertson. So it's Keith and Stewart from Albertson and Davidson from Ask Two Lawyers. I'm very happy because I remember chatting with them months ago and telling them you need to lean into pop culture cases, similar to like the Bravo Bros. I remember the Bravo Bros. If you guys are Bravo fans and you listen, now they're called Bros and Shows. But at the very beginning of their journey, I remember being like, you guys are going to be big. You guys are going to blow up. Stay on it. Let's get it. And so, I always can spot when somebody's going to blow up the way that they did. And I kept telling the Ask Two Lawyers guys, I'm like, you guys need a live stream, cover the Tom Sandoval Scandoval lawsuit, because at the time that was really big. And then, I told them they need to lean more into Blake and Baldoni, and now they're really popping off, and I love it. So I'm excited to have them back on the podcast. I'm excited. Okay. Oh, remind me before we wrap this up, I have some Bravo tea, some Andy Cohen tea. So we're going to get into Meghan Markle right now, but remind me to not, because it's tea and it's juicy. So don't allow me to forget that there is, if you're a Bravo fan, or if you like, it was just some info that came across my desk this morning. I was like, oh, what? Is this true? Because if it's true, it would be major. Okay. Major. Okay. That Meghan Markle. Oh God, guys. So I did it for you, right? I did it for you. I watched the first episode of Meghan Markle's new Netflix series, With Love, Meghan. And oh boy, I tried. Okay. So I only watched episode 1. I haven't watched the other episodes yet, but I kicked it off, tweeted about it. So there's a whole, actually, I'll just read you my thread of tweets because they were quite hilarious. But so we basically open up, and I tweeted, I said, what in the 2015 Pinterest series am I watching right now? Because it really does feel like this is all very quintessential 2015, 2012 Pinterest era, right? Even the cover of it, like it's just all very Pinteresty. And so basically, show starts off, and it opens up with the beehive, this bee garden that she has. Is that what it's called? The bee garden? Is it a beehive where you have like all the things to make honey? And why she's even doing the honey, like to me, it's just kind of whatever. But I will say the first couple of minutes did captivate me because you open up and you're seeing the bees, and he's showing her how the bees make the honey, and she's talking about the beauty of nature. And I was actually, you know what? I agree with this. Like this is, like seeing, like we don't often think about like the beauty of nature and what these insects and creatures and animals actually do to provide for our environment, right? So we take honey for granted, but we really see the process of the honey, and we see the bees and all things. And I was like having a moment of appreciation for that when this started, of being like, wow, that is a really like beautiful thing to witness. Because the guy, like you can tell he loves bees. He like wants to save all the bees. Hashtag save the bees. Hashtag save the beehive. Go Country Carter. And so he was talking about it, and I was like, wow, this is kind of, this is kind of it is like beautiful, whatever, nature, yeah, all the things, right? But then we get in, and she introduces us to her token gay, and this is her token gay. Okay. And it's this guy that she's like, I met him. He did my makeup on the set of Suits. And oh my God, I love it. And it's very obvious that they're not as close. So she's selling him up about my friend, and he's coming, and she's making him bath salts. And I'm like, first of all, offensive that you're going to associate the gay community with bath salts. Why? Because we do drugs and we smoke that. Or what do you do with bath? What do you? I don't know what people do with the bath salts, but they do things with the bath salts and then they eat people's faces. Remember when that was the thing? But so she's making him bath salts, which are really all she's doing is pouring the Epsom salt into a jar and then like adding some essential oils into it. And I'm like, okay, I could buy that already packaged at Whole Foods, but okay. But so she says that she's known him since Suits. And he comes over and you can tell he doesn't really know what they're doing, but like he knows that he's filming for their new television show. And so she brings her token gay on, doesn't even know that he's left-handed. Like he walks in and she's like, we're gonna cook some food today. And you can tell like he's just like, oh, cute. Like you can tell this dude has never seen her cook a day in his life because he was shooketh that they were going to be preparing food and that they were going to be cooking together. You can just tell. And then he cuts his hand, and then she's like, oh no, you cut your hand. What are you going to do? That's your dominant hand. And he's like, LOL, don't like, remember we're friends. Remember I'm left-handed. And she's just like, oh, LOL. And I'm just like, you don't even know like that your friend is left-handed. Like if you're that close and you've known him since the Suits days. And she says like, I've known him since before, during, and after. Seemingly a reference to the royal family, meaning she knew this gay makeup artist before the royal family, during the royal family, and then after the royal family. And I'm just like, okay, great. Got it. Thank you. But so it was just crazy. She even puts together like this package for him and she teaches us that you can make popcorn. And so, they have the corn, the kernels where the kernels are all dry, but they're still on the cob. It's like the hard corn on the cob. It's not like cooked, but it's hard. I don't know what you call those. But so she's like, I just found out that you can get these corn on the cobs and you can put them in the microwave and pop them. She's like, you put it in a little bag and you fold it up and you put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and then boom, you have popcorn. I was like, oh, wow, let me go to World's Market and buy the hard corn on the cobs, the hard purple corn on the cobs that are mainly for decoration. And you put it in the bag. But like, who's realistically, Ness says, I loved the popcorn bag trick. It was so cute. But who's realistically doing that? Like, seriously, she's like, and I'm going to do it because he loves a little late night snack. And I'm just like, but who, like, then get regular popcorn. Or she then is like, I know he loves pretzels with peanut butter in them. So she gets the bag of pretzels with peanut butter in them that looks like it's from like Trader Joe's, right? And it says peanut butter pretzels on them. And then she opens the bag and then she puts the bag into another bag, a clear cellophane bag, even though the original bag was already clear, except for the packaging that said, peanut butter, whatever. So she pours it from one plastic bag to another plastic bag, and then she ties it up, and then she writes on it, peanut butter pretzels. I was like, bitch, it just said peanut butter pretzels. It was already in the bag. Like, you already had it done. Why are we doing extra work to write a new bag that says peanut butter pretzels? They're peanut butter pretzels. I don't think he minds if you handwrite peanut butter pretzels or it was printed out for you. It was just like, it would be different if she was like, here's a whole new snack that we're making with peanut butter pretzels. We're doing something different and original with peanut butter pretzels. And like, I was just like she didn't even do anything new with the peanut butter pretzels. She just put them from one bag to the next bag of peanut butter pretzels. And I was just like, and then she's like, this is one of my favorite snacks ever. And I was just like, okay, thank you, Meghan Markle. But so that's that. She has to get her, she's making fresh bath salts and putting peanut butter pretzels and from one bag to the next bag. And then she's popping the popcorn for him. And like, it looks cute for like Pinterest, but it's just not very realistic, right? And then she has him cook this kale tomato pasta dish. Okay. And she has him cutting up all of the tomatoes. And this is where he cuts his hand and she learns for the first time, even though she's known him for like 87 years, and they're best friends, right? But this is the first time she learns that he's left-handed. And so they're doing the thing. And she's just like, I'm going to use a whole package of pasta because, it's going to be for me and for my husband. I'm cooking and for the kids. And then there'll be extras left over for the kids' lunches tomorrow. And I was like, okay, first of all, that's a lot of meals. Like, I can go through a whole pack of pasta in like 2 meals, right? With just me. Like, I'm going to have some for lunch and dinner. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll have some noodles left over to nosh on after the gym the next morning. But like, okay. She's making it seem like it's groundbreaking that she's using a full pack of pasta. But so then she's making the pasta and it's basically tomatoes, right? She puts a little seasoning in it. And then she throws like some kale on top of it, some arugula in it. And I'm just like, and then she tops it off with chili peppers. And then she brings out this big old block of Parmesan cheese and grates it from scratch which cute, right? Adds to the aesthetic. But then I'm just like, Did she just say she makes this for her kids and she makes the whole bag of pasta so that there's extra for them to go to school tomorrow for lunch? Like, what kids are eating kale pasta with red chili flakes? Like, that doesn't make sense. And then they're like, ooh, isn't this so warm and cozy? It's like a warm and cozy meal. And I was like, it doesn't feel very warm and cozy. It feels a little stuffy and, like cute for like a dinner party, right? Like if you're having a fancy dinner party with your friends and you want the aesthetics and the vibes, cool, this would be the vibe for that, right? But like for her to be like, this is for my kids' lunch tomorrow. I'm like, your kids are not eating kale pasta with chili flakes. Like that's like what? You think we just fell out of a coconut tree? Come on. Victoria says, Zach, you have to remember, if you watch the show, she's learning things that she goes along. Really wish I could interact and give her some pointers, right? I just like, in what world does she think we believe that her kids are eating this kale pasta, this kale spaghetti with not even spaghetti sauce? The kids just want spaghetti. They want the noodles that are shaped like dinosaurs in just a basic, marinara sauce. PB&J. Yeah, kids want a PB&J. I'm sure even if she did PB&J, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna go into the garden and today we're gonna squash the blackberries with our feet in the barrels because that's what everybody does to make PB&J. And then I can't. Anyway, so she's cooking and as you can see, her token gay is like, what? He's like very confused. He's like, I didn't even know you knew how to cook. Oh, look, here's a photo of the kale pasta. Sorry, my phone is a little hand printing. There's the kale pasta with so many greens. I'm like, that's so many greens for a kid. Oh, and then it gets even better. Thank you, Victoria, for the super sticker. It gets even better because then she decides, since she has all of the bees outside and they're making her honey, she decides that she's then going to use the wax that's left over to make eucalyptus candles from scratch from her bee garden in the backyard. I'm like, who the hell is like, let me have a eucalyptus candle that I'm going to make from scratch where we have to melt down all of the wax. Like, this is like a whole arts project, like arts and crafts. I'm like, what's next? We're going to make some macaroni art like Rachel Leviss did in her therapy room. But so we literally go and we start making the candles from scratch with the beeswax. And she's like, and we have to do this right. And let's make sure we get the temperature. I'm like, this is too many steps. There's too many steps. I'm going to go to Anthropologie and I'll buy a fucking eucalyptus candle there, right? Making candles is so easy. So what? It's beautiful. Y'all are a bunch of haters. I'm just saying it's very like, my point is she's trying to make herself, and we'll get to this to the next part when we get to the cake. She's trying to make herself sound relatable. Like, here's the thing. Gwyneth Paltrow was like, fuck y'all bitches. I'm rich and I don't give a shit. Like and Martha Stewart too. Martha Stewart was like, I'm perfect. Fuck y'all bitches. Like the fuck y'all bitch energy I appreciate, right? From Martha Stewart and from Gwyneth Paltrow, because they don't give a shit whether you think it's relatable or not. Even Kourtney Kardashian, remember when she launched Poosh and she literally had, what was it, a bottle of Veuve Clicquot that she was pouring into the bathtub? Like, when you own that shit and you're just like, fuck it, I'm rich and I'm going to do rich, unattainable, aspirational shit. And that's who I am. My shit don't smell. Why? Because I put potpourri in it. And Meghan Markle's just like, I'm so relatable, LOL. And I'm like, girl, you are not relatable. Stop trying to sell us on you making kale pasta for your kids for lunch tomorrow. Making candles is so easy. It is so easy, but she made it like a 28-step project that was going to, she had to milk the bees. She had to milk the bees to get the wax to make the candles. And then she picked eucalyptus candle. It was just crazy. It was, and also we already saw this back in 2012 when everybody was on Pinterest and doing these like really cutesy, like Lauren Conrad even gave up on it. But so anyway, she makes her candles from scratch. And then she's like, I forgot what her friend's name is, Bob or something. She's like, this is going to be called Bob's Candle. And I was like, how original. And then she decides she's going to make a lemon cake with raspberries. And it was a cute cake. The cake was very aesthetically pleasing, very cute. I was actually a fan of what the cake looked like, and the cake looked like it tastes good as well. But it was just funny because this is the moment she wants to show us that she's truly relatable. So what she does is she even tells us, she's like, LOL, instead of getting one of those pipeline squeezers for the frosting, I'm just going to use a Ziploc bag and I'm going to cut off the tip, which, first of all, most unoriginal tip you could ever give somebody when you're frosting a cake, right? Like, everybody knows the Ziploc baggy trick. You just cut the tip and you use that for the frost to pipe the frosting. But then she like makes it seem like she's so relatable by doing this. I'm like, You're so relatable with your bee farm in the backyard that you were getting the fresh wax to melt the candle, to make the candles from what? What? With your kids' lunch with, kale pasta and chili flakes? Like what? Now we're relatable using the Ziploc bag. It was just like Sharon says the Ziploc bag is old dude. That's right. Like before they even made Ziploc bags, we knew this trick. It was just funny. It really was. Ness says it's also a very California thing, farm to table, slow living, where you made everything from scratch, have bees, have hens. I'm from California, and I'll even tell you we're over that shit. We'll just go to Erewhon and pay for it overpriced. We're not going to be milking the bees. We're over that. We did that in 2015, and now we're done. Thank you. Next, we're moving on. Russ says Harry didn't know that, though. He probably thought she invented that method. Maybe Harry's not even in this. Like Harry's like nowhere to be seen. She doesn't even really mention Harry at all. So just funny that, yeah, Zack keeping it. I mean, honestly though, I'm from California. That's where that is the biggest place where we do all this shit. And I can tell you, we don't do it anymore. We're over. We realized how much work that was. And we're like, listen, Gwyneth Paltrow, we're not melting down. We're not milking the bees to make some candles anymore. No, thank you. Zack, maybe in SoCal, but in NorCal, we still do slow living. Well, that's because there's nothing in NorCal. It's a little different. We're a city. NorCal is still the woods. So you don't have a choice. You don't have an Erewhon on every block, with overpriced bees milk in a glass bottle. MC High Life says Meghan is trying to be Joanna Gaines and fail. But again, Joanna Gaines was 2018. Like we're still way behind on the times here. Joanna Gaines even had her moment. Michelle said, "Oop, not the woods." Yeah. So Cowgirl says she doesn't act anymore. So living in Santa Barbara life. Where does she live? In Montecito? And then here's what's even funnier. Okay, so I got through the full episode. Kind of boring, kind of over it. Not that interesting. But so this is how it ends. It ends with us. No, it ends with the first credit at the end. Oh, there we go. The first credit at the end says executive producer Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And I was like, I thought the royal family was racist. I thought we didn't like the royal family because they were racist. I thought that we were done with the royal family. The life was too demanding and they weren't treating me fairly. And yet you're still going to use Duchess of Sussex still in 2025? Like she still hasn't parted ways with being the Duchess of Sussex? Why don't you just go by Meghan Markle now? You're Meghan Markle. You didn't want to be a Duchess. You wanted nothing to do with Sussex. It's funny. I posted that and then somebody on X was like, that's her maiden name. I'm like, her maiden name is not Duchess of Sussex, okay? She was given that title when she married into the family and then she shit on the family and she wants nothing to do with the family. Like, come on. You can't have it both ways. August says, now that's the part that annoys me, right? Like, you wanted nothing to do with the royal family. You wanted to be done. They were racist, remember? She called them racist with Oprah. She's making people address her kids as princes. Yeah, prince and princess. I mean, yeah, again, you're in America, right? So we don't have princes and princesses here. Like, it's just wild to me. Meghan Markle beekeeping. She beekeeping us talking. She's doing that good. Yeah. P says, no, they stepped down and stopped taking tax money so Harry could sue the media. They never disowned the family. Oh, so what were they hoping to accomplish when they did that Oprah interview? I just want to know, like, what did they think was going to happen to their relationship? Just out of curiosity. Do you have a rebuttal? I would love to hear it. Because people are like, they don't want privacy. They never, it's like, really? Because they were crying about being in Canada and how, in Canada, the paparazzi was just all over them. I was like, listen, Chaperone, take a seat. Bethany Frankel had a great take that Meghan Markle is having an identity crisis. Clearly, she's ripping off Gwyneth Paltrow from 2012. Or his book. Yep, that's a good point too. His book also trashed the royal family. His family, you know? It's just crazy. They fly private planes, really relatable. Right? I'm sure she takes her peanut butter pretzels. I'm sure she puts them in a Ziploc baggie when they ride on their private jet so her kids can eat out of the Ziploc baggie. No, actually, she probably doesn't. Remember, she probably has the glass containers or the aluminum containers because they don't want to like waste plastic. She only wastes plastic when she's decorating a cake. It's the world's wide privacy tour. Yeah, they were I call them the royal refugees. Tyler Perry had to save them. They needed to seek refuge at Tyler Perry's mansion to escape Canada after leaving the royal family. They fled from the racist royal family and they sought refuge in Canada, and then that was too much and they couldn't bear the Canadians. So Tyler Perry had to come and rescue them with his mansion. It's just crazy. So there you go. That's With Love, Meghan. XOXO, Gossip Girl. Zack review. The Zack review is just the best. Maybe I should do a review on Instagram. That's a lot of Instagram content that I'm gonna have to do to review, but maybe I will. I'm like, should I do a New York Times update about like what their dismissal says? This maybe I'll do a Meghan Markle one. I don't know. Too many things. All right, we have to wrap, but we are wrapping. 9% on Rotten Tomatoes already. Okay. Oh, yes. Bravo tea. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. So let me just read it directly from my phone. Heard some good tea this morning. Okay. So apparently there's a rumor going around. Now, I trust this source very much, right? Can't tell you who it's from, but I trust this source very much. And apparently this source knows a lot of people, and all these people are starting to talk, and apparently Andy Cohen is going to be stepping down from Bravo. And it's going to be happening soon as April, which is next month. There's a rumor going around that he's stepping down in April. That was just a little tea. Oh, that is hot tea. Is it? I don't know well, I mean, I'm trusting that this information is I wasn't even planning. I don't know. I think like could it be all the lawsuit stuff? Because like Caroline Manzo was suing and Leah McSweeney was suing, and like now we know that the legal stuff is going to be coming out, and Leah McSweeney is fighting for discovery. Are they expecting shit to hit the fan? Like, are these lawsuits moving forward, and is shit about to hit the fan? I feel like once this starts to get out publicly, they may delay the announcement, so maybe it won't be April. I don't know. I just know that this is a rumor that's going around right now that people in Hollywood land know about. I'm thinking maybe he'll pivot out of Bravo and lean more into Radio Andy. SiriusXM is really trying to like become the thing right now, and I think it's very possible that he'll exit Bravo and dive more into SiriusXM. And I wonder what his role at BravoCon is going to be at this point. Let's see. BravoCon, because there is BravoCon this year. BravoCon 2025. Yep. Returns in 2025, November 3rd through November 5th in Las Vegas. We don't have a location. So we have no announcements for BravoCon that have been announced yet, though. Here, we can do a share screen. That way you look at this we can look at this together. BravoCon returns 2025. BravoCon is returning to Las Vegas in 2025. Stay tuned for news and updates. So we know that it's coming back. We just don't know when. Interesting. Interesting. Interessante. What do we think? Ooh, this is a fun little shift up. Zack, if you could host a Real Housewives reunion, which one would it be? Probably Beverly Hills. That's the show I know and like the most. The reunions are always crazy. So I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that would look like. what stepping down would mean. Is he stepping down from Watch What Happens Live? Is he stepping down from reunions? I don't know what that means. I just know that there is an announcement that's probably going to be coming soon, and Andy Cohen is going to be. This is just what I'm hearing, right? And this isn't like some low budget Reddit tea. Like, this is people that are in this world that are talking about the things that they're hearing, and that apparently the announcement is supposed to be set for April. That would be crazy. I don't know if he's fired. I don't know. That's all I know. That's all I know. Crazy. Like, crazy. Anchovy says, Happy Mardi Gras. Oh, is it Mardi Gras today? Is today Mardi Gras? Oh, it's Fat Tuesday. Oh, sorry, we're not allowed to. It's Voluptuous Tuesday. Is that appropriate? Can I say Voluptuous Tuesday? I don't know what Tuesday it is. I don't think we're allowed to say Fat Tuesday. Fuck it, it's Fat Tuesday. That's right. Oh, okay. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Surplus Tuesday. There we go. It is a Surplus Tuesday. Voluptuous Tuesday is perfect. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. He wants to be a good dad. I just think he's also just ready to move on from Bravo, right? I feel like it was also funny. Speaking of Bravo news, I saw that there was this breaking news headline that came out this morning that made me laugh because it was literally breaking news. Oh no, not that one. It's a different. No, not that one. Those are my headlines. Oh, here it is. In Us Weekly, breaking news: Jax Taylor reveals his pasta addiction in a new interview. I was like, oh, Jax Taylor does pasta? Say what? That's a shocker. That's breaking news. I thought everybody knew that. So he's opening up. He's getting vulnerable about his addiction to pasta. Zack, have you eaten at something about her? Have you eaten at something about her restaurant? Okay, first of all, calling it a restaurant is a bit of a stretch. But yes, I have been there. I have eaten there once. Love the fuck you bitch energy. For me, am I giving fuck you bitch energy? Huh. Jax is so annoying. I heard he loves Meghan's kale pasta. I mean, we don't need any more Jerry O'Connell being shouted. Yeah, I hope that if there is a replacement to Andy Cohen, it's not Jerry O'Connell. We need somebody that's a little more like, we need somebody that can bring us back to like the fun days, you know? We'll see. Not Jerry O'Connell, though. Jerry O'Connell is just like, Jerry O'Connell is kale pasta without the chili flakes. I don't need it. I'm good. So good. Thank you. Next. He's cute, yes, but like, come on. Not to replace Andy Cohen. We need somebody, Michael Rappaport. No, I think Michael Rappaport, we need somebody in the middle, right? I feel like Michael Rappaport is way too like in your face and extreme and harsh, and Jerry O'Connell is way too soft. So like, we would just need somebody that would have like a nice fine balance. We need someone like Mr. Rogers in these days. Mr. Rogers. I don't want to go that far. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. So let's wrap this up. I feel like that was like the last few minutes of the podcast was just as juicy as the rest of it. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great. Please subscribe, guys. Let's subscribe so that we can make sure we hit. Let's aim for 75K by next week. I think we can do it. What are we at right now? We're at 72.7. 72.7. So that's less than 3,000 more subscribers to get to 75. The goal is to get to 100K. We're going to get there. I know we're going to get there. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please show the podcast some love. And we're here streaming on YouTube Monday through Friday mornings, all right here, ready for you. So go show some love. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Onijah. Oh, yes. We love us some Onijah. I need to see what's been going on with Onijah Robinson. Is she still in Dubai? I'm hoping they got her home by now. All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Ciao for now.